Sup guys, it's your boy Justin back with another game review. So I'm gonna try to keep this short so we don't have like what happened with my last couple game reviews where I ramble on too long and then the video gets cut in like not even half, like the last if it looks like if I go over 33 minutes the accursed number, the the video will get cut off. So I'm gonna try to keep this like under 30 minutes. And I'm gonna try not to swear. So we'll see how far that can go. So I finally played and beat Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake, and I was on the fence of getting this game, and I did what most adults gamers nowadays do. Well, at least I noticed from my friends that okay, if wherever there's a game that we're kind of on the fence of, you just put it on your wish list. So I end up surprisingly getting this game for Christmas, which I got almost every game I put on my list for Christmas, dude. I felt like super bad. I was like, what the hell? I think my mom felt bad for me because I lost my job, but it's like, come on. Like, I'm still working, like a part-time job, and I got my other thing, and I got my odd jobs here. I got money coming in, dude. I'm not hurting for money. Actually, that's not true. I had to stop going to the bar. And I had to stop going to my favorite diner once a week, but I'm still paying bills. So I finally got the game. And I played it. And one good thing I'll say about this game is that it finally motivated me to play Dragon Quest 1 and 2 on the Erdrick collection, which I already owned. So that's why one of the reasons why I didn't want to play this, but get this game, because I already own this game, dude. Or at least I own like a pixel version of the game, which for the same price of this game, you could get this and you get all three games, dude. And yeah, the first two are super short, but between these two combined are like 30 something hours, and this game goes for like 60 hours according to how long to beat in Game Facts, which this game can go up to 60 hours, or it took me like 50 something hours to beat the game. But like one of the major problems I had with this game, which is like the game is like, for example, you had like remakes of like full 3D remakes of Trials of Mana, Secret of Mana, and Romancing Saga 2, Revenge of the Seven. These are full like 3D remakes of SNES RPGs, and for this game, what do we get? We get the Octopath Traveler, we get the Live a Live style. Well, we just make it like half 3D, like, which this game makes sense because this game we never got in the West, and it probably wouldn't have sold. Maybe it would have sold well, maybe it wouldn't if you made a full 3D remake. So like you would take a chance on that if you made it full 3D. So I get why you wouldn't make a full 3D remake of that. But this is one of the games where if you ask classic Dragon Quest fans, and I'm saying classic old school Dragon Quest fans, what are their favorite Dragon Quest games, they would say, or at least the ones they say are the best, they would say 3 and 5 and 4. Sometimes 4 they'll say has like a good story or whatever, but like, or 5 has the best story, but like they'll say like 3 was the best one because like as far as gameplay wise, because you can create your own party, you have vocation classes, it was like open world, it was like highly customizable, and like this game also had monster wrangling, which is one of my favorite parts of the game. But like you can't catch the monsters in conventional, like in like conventional Pokemon style games, which apparently this predates that. I like every game that comes out before Pokemon that had like monster capture is like, oh, this game, like Pokemon clearly ripped it off. Like I've heard the same thing for not just this, but like with SMT and like with Linda 3, which that was like a PC Engine game, which that game that also had like a remake on the PS1. Like holy crap, that's an awesome looking JRPG. That's a JRPG I would love to get re-released and remastered. Holy, Linda 3 is basically like, it's like Akira meets Pokemon, but like a space opera kinda, and it's insane if you've never seen like look up Linda 3 or Linda Cube on like YouTube. It's like holy shit, that game looks, oh I swore, but that game looks crazy, dude. But yeah, it's amazing like how many games get like shit on Pokemon, like oh Pokemon ripped this off from this and that. It's like oh my god, dude. Yeah, it's like enough of who ripped off. Who did Pokemon rip off of? Who cares? Pokemon did it best. Okay. Oh my god. So yeah, that was cool. There's apparently over 120 monsters in the game. What sucks about the monster wrangling, for a lot of people, not for me, because I like the class, which to make monster wrangling the easiest is to have a monster wrangler on your team. Which, why the hell wouldn't you have a monster wrangler on your team when the monster wrangler, not only does it look cool, it's like the closest thing to having a barbarian on your team as far as aesthetics go. And you can make the character look like Sorrow from like Dragon Quest IV and Dragon Quest The Dark Prince. So I think they were literally inspired by that. But like I named the character Dar, and I named my other wizard. My team was the hero, who's basically like a paladin kind of class, though in the game it's called a sage, but like he's basically like this a paladin that can use like offensive like spells and like techniques. I had for my tanky kind of class, who can also heal, by the way, though late game his healing spell abilities suck, is the Monster Wrangler, who I named Dar, and for my wizard I named Sparrowhawk, and my last member of the team was Katrina, who was a thief with pink hair. She wasn't named after it. For people like I hear have this problem where like if they have to create like a character in these RPGs, they don't know what to do, because like oh they have a hard time like appealing to the character, like they feel like soulless golems. What I do is I name, if you're not a creative person, like don't write stories and whatever, what I recommend you just name the character. You try to, which the customization for the characters was pretty good, because in the original you can't really customize them, their appearances, other than the appearances was basically what they look like in the class and their sex, right? Here it's like you can actually change the sprites and make them look young and old and everything, so like I really enjoyed that. So yeah, so what I did, I named two of my characters after fantasy movies and TV shows and franchises, right? So if anybody can tell me where Dar is from and where Sparrowhawk is from, without Googling, which you probably did. So whoever the first one to tell me where those two characters are from, I'll do a quick look game review on whatever RPG you want, as long as I own it. Or if it's like, super cheap. So that's what... But like, I want at least 5 likes on this video, guys. Come on. This game took me 55 hours. And I was only playing it casually at first, but then it's like I kind of sped it up, because like, oh, I want to get to Dragon Quest IV, because I compared the combat between this game and Dragon Quest IV, and holy crap, the combat in this game, dude. One, I should mention, they did the thing where in the first 7 Dragon Quest games, the combat is first person, right? They're first person dungeon crawlers. Well, not in the dungeon. Well, not when you're traversing the dungeons, but when the combat's first person, right? Here they did this like half and half thing where before the battle you can kind of see the backs of your characters and action poses, and you can see the weapons, the sprites for the weapons, right? Okay, well, that was really cool. But then when it comes to actual combat, no, it's just you have the effects, which is like, what the hell, dude? And I thought it was weird. I had like one character had like the dragon claws, and like another character had the dragon claws, and I had to late game. I had to one of the things you have to do late game is change a lot of your party members' classes because the game gets tougher and your characters become shit. So you have to change their vocations. So I had to change my mage character to a sage, which you need a special item for that, which you can get like you have to get a specific place only for like you can pick it up in like the final dungeon, or like literally I picked it up on the world map as soon as I got the flying bird. And then I changed my thief into a martial artist because the thief, holy crap, sucks late game, dude. The thief sucks late game, but the thief is really good for making money, and also she has a skill that allows you to creep onto like the monsters. So if you don't have a monster wrangler, the monsters will run away when you go to talk to them. So I also hated the thing where you have to find where the monsters are, and then you have to. But if you're not there on the right time of day, sometimes the monsters will always be in a specific spot, but sometimes it depends on what time of day. So that was really annoying. But yeah, like the monster wrangler class is really good for finding monsters. So if you're one of the people who likes the Dragon Quest Monsters games, which holy crap, are they not super expensive now? I'm glad I bought them when I did. You're gonna want the Monster Wrangler on your team, which I think he's an awesome class. I enjoyed him. I kept Dar the way he is. I didn't change his vocation, dude. So I had to share the seeds, which is the items to permanently increase your stats with him, because otherwise he would have been like super weak, for the end. Which you get so many seeds in this game, it's like holy crap, dude. It reminded me of the Dragon Warrior cartoon and anime, of like how many seeds, like the seeds were like almost commonplace. Oh my god! Which the Dragon Warrior anime, I should have named my character Abel. I should have, but it's like I always name my Dragon Quest characters either Abel or Judah. So like I had to go with Judah for this one, dude. Well, for Dragon Quest 1, I named him Elric, and I named the second character Jet because he looked like a pilot kind of guy. So I didn't go with Bible names for the first two. Which there's also a twist in the game, which is like holy crap. But this game is a prequel, and they announced look forward to Dragon Quest HD 2D remake of 1 and 2, which we'll probably get. Remember when 7 came out and people were like, there was going to be Dragon Quest 4 PS1 remake, and that didn't come out to like the PS1, the DS came out, because the DS is Dragon Quest 4 is based off the PS1 remake apparently. I also have Dragon Quest 7 here. Yeah, you don't need it. So I should go into what the story of the game is, which I was confused as hell. Because oh my god, because the game was a prequel, but I thought like that your main character, I was confused as hell, but like your character, as soon as he turns 16, he gets like contacted by this by the goddess, probably. We don't know. It could be like no, it was like the fairy queen or whatever, and she makes you take a personality test. And I have no idea what the personality tests are for. I think the personalities in the game affect how your characters level up. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it is. And I got Narcissus, which when I originally played the game on the tablet iOS version, which the Switch games are based off the tablet versions, I got like a way worse personality, where it's like where the game basically called me a piece of crap. Here it's like, well, you're a narcissist, so but I like the part where like, yeah, you're a narcissist, but like for some reason people like you, which is like true in real life. Like I'm kind of like I come off like kind of like a selfish person, but people still like me. I don't know why. Oh, I don't know, but yeah. So yeah, there's that. There's the personality, and then like you go to the king, and you did. I thought he said it was like you're from like a line of heroes, just like in Dragon Quest 1 and 2. Which Dragon Quest 1 and 2 are directly connected. Where here, this game's a prequel, which takes place before that, which becomes very. I'm going to spoil the ending, so if you don't want to get spoiled, the game's a 7 out of 10. It's fun. But the game has like no challenge, dude. Like I posted a community post about this AI song I found where it's like, "Thou shalt not test me, bitch. Thou shalt not test me, bitch. I will smack a bitch. I will lose my shit. Don't test me, bitch. Don't test me, bitch. I will." I forgot how that song goes, but yeah, somebody must have been like, we cannot make this game hard, dude. Because the Dragon Quest games, like, I still think the Final Fantasy games are harder than the Dragon Quest games. I've heard people say different. But to me, I don't know, maybe because I grew up with the Final Fantasy games, most of the Final Fantasy games I grew up with, I still haven't beaten. Like, 8, 7, 10... I've never beaten those games, dude. I need to go back and play those games, but like, holy shit. But yeah, for me, the Dragon Quest games have always been kind of easier, but they are still kind of hard games. Parts of 5 were hard. 8, holy fuck, 8 gets super hard. But this is like the easiest Dragon Quest game I've ever played, to the point where literally, for some of the boss battles, I literally I just got to a point where I just wanted to beat the game already, so I just, like, put the game on super fast, because normal is slow as hell, dude. I played a little bit of Dragon Quest 4, and to compare, and, like, the combat is so slow on normal, dude. You have to play it on fast, because fast is, like, normal speed, compared to other Dragon Quest games where like normal is slow as hell, and I think they did because they wanted to show off the sprites. They wanted to show off the animation for the sprites, which is like, why the fuck? Like, they did this half and half thing where it's like, oh, it's kind of first person combat, but kind of not. It's like, do or do not. Don't do this halfway BS, dude. So I saw like someone posted a video complaining about like the lack of first person combat. It's like, it is first person, but there's a shot where you can kind of see the backs of your characters. So it's like kind of like Phantasy Star 2. Which, oh my god, I'm playing Phantasy Star 1 is like, holy fuck, the dungeons are torture. Especially like the ice planet, where to get to any fucking town, you have to go through like 3 or 4 like dungeon caves or whatever. It's like, holy shit, that fucking game. But yeah, we're not here to talk about Phantasy Star 1, which I'm not even going to review that, because I only review games I have physical copies of, and I don't have a physical copy of Phantasy Star 1. I'm playing on the Sonic Ultimate Collection on PS3, which is also on the Xbox 360 version as well. It's not on the PS4 version of that game, which is like, what the fuck. But yeah. So, like, the game is so easy, you can beat some of the boss battles on hard. On the auto battle. Which I almost beat the final boss on auto battle. Only for, like, my main character, who's, like, the main healer. He still has better healing spells than the sage. Which the sage looks exactly like your character, dude. Except he walks with a staff instead of with his sword out. Which he can also equip swords. So it's like, yeah, I had to change. I think I changed my main character, my Sparrowhawk's hairstyle because he looked just like the hero, dude, but just blue. Which, yeah, I'll do a quick look of a game. If you guys can tell him, for the first person can tell me where Dar and Sparrowhawk is from, I'll do a quick look of a RPG, and if I like it, I'll do a full review. But that's be a game I own, which I own a lot of fucking games, dude. By a quick look, I mean I'll play like the first 5 hours or so. But yeah. But you better be a regular commentator or a fan of the channel, like some newbie. I don't know. Like, we'll see if it's a good suggestion. But yeah, but the story for this game is basically your dad was this hero who left when you're a baby, and I like the dad character, though I didn't like the voice acting in the game, because I don't like the British voice acting, dude. I'm sorry, I don't, for these Dragon Quest games. And your dad looks like a barbarian guy, and he's pretty cool. But yeah, like, he was supposed to go on this quest to defeat the main bad guy, Baramos, who looks nothing like he does in the anime. In the anime, he has more character development, which is the guy who just stands around in episodes looking evil shit. But it's still more fleshed out in the anime, where he basically does next to nothing, than here, where it's just like, where you find out Baramos is even the real main villain of the game. There's another villain too. Which the story is, you're basically on this quest, basically following your dad's footsteps to fight the arch demon lord or whatever, dude. Which now we know why in like all these fantasy animes where there's like, or like, you know, anime where they kind of like where they reference like JRPGs where you have to go fight the evil demon lord. It's because like there's always a demon lord, and like, you know, you have to kill in like Dragon Quest, dude. So it's like, that's why there's always an evil demon lord, dude. That and like Lord of the Rings, but like a lot of Western RPGs, they don't have like, oh, you have to be a demon lord, dude. Which is like, come on, they should bring that back. But yeah, which you finally get to your dad, and your dad, not only does he look the same, but you finally get to your dad, and you get your dad, and it's like you finally meet up with your dad, and it's one of those like, holy shit, dude. One of those like, you know, like one of those like reunions where it's like, I've seen this before, and they totally ripped it off. Like fucking Golden Kamuy totally ripped off this game, dude. Because your dad, you finally meet your dad, only to meet him a second too late, where he gets his ass kicked by a Hydra, and he's blind and he's deaf. So you meet him, and he wouldn't recognize you anyway, because he left when you were a baby, dude. Which I thought that was a mistake. You should have been like, you were like at least like you were 10 years old or something. It makes no sense for your dad like to look the way he does. Your dad been on this quest to kill this demon lord for 16 years, and he's still alive. Oh my god, dude, he should have been dead. or something. But yeah, he's still or imprisoned or mind controlled or something, dude. No, he was just like, you know, he was like playing with the dog, which is a Canadian saying, but it said playing, it's replaced with a swear word for being lazy. It's a Canadian saying for someone who's kind of not doing his job, like, you know, with enthusiasm. Oh my god. So it's like, oh my god, they ripped that off, and Golden Kamuy ripped that off from here, which is like, oh my god. Which there are dark points in the game, like when you try to where like there's a village that's like that's asleep, and I kept going past that like because there's a point where the game has this option where it can tell you where to go next to advance the story, but because of that, I kept skipping over this town, and I'm like, when the fuck am I supposed to save this town that's like where everybody's just trapped in like asleep? Which didn't they do that? And like, I swear to God, I played another Dragon Quest game where like all that the same shit happened. I don't know if it was 7, 8, or 9, but I definitely played another Dragon Quest game where where like a village was asleep and you had to help them, or like a curse or some shit. So it turns out like all the fairies cursed his village because like a human fell in love with a fairy girl, and only for like the mom was like, yeah, I do not approve of the mixing of the elf and the fairy and the human blood, just like Elrond in Lord of the Rings. Even though Elrond, you're a fucking half elf too, and like what's his name's a half elf. So what's the problem? I have to mention Lord of the Rings, man. But yeah, and those two killed themselves. They sunsetted, which I like. Oh my god, I might as well age restrict the video anyway. But whatever, dude. It's gonna get shadow banned anyway, so no point in age restricting it. But yeah, so But yeah, my main problem with this game is, yeah, there's cool stuff in the game. I like the customization of the locations and stuff. But basically, like, the game kind of almost has this MMO feel, which is like, god damn it. While I was playing this game, I was watching a guy on Rumble, and originally I was watching on BitChute, but it was like, oh man, there's no playlist on BitChute. Let's see if he's like... He has a Rumble channel where there's playlists. So I was watching this guy play Dragon Quest X, which to play Dragon Quest X, you as a Westerner, you have to make a fake like Japanese account and come up with a fake address. But you still have all these people live streaming themselves playing Dragon Quest X. It's like, and only to find out that, hey, there's you know how like I mentioned, like, I would love a offline version of like Dragon Quest, of like, you know, Final Fantasy 14, like 11 or whatever, so I can finally play these MMOs, right? Turns out there's a single player offline version of Dragon Quest X. Yes, it looks like they chibi the characters, but it's basically the same game, just chibi character models. So it's like, what the fuck? Instead of putting out shit like this, re-releasing games that's already been re-released and remastered, like, why the fuck don't you why don't you release Dragon Quest X offline for the West, dude? Fuck the online version, just release the offline version. It exists in Japan. Holy shit. Fuck. I'd rather play that than play this, dude. Which I'm gonna go back and like, I was basically playing this and pretending I was playing Dragon Quest X, because this kind of feels like an MMO, dude. With your classes, and you can change the classes. Which I'm gonna have to give Dragon Quest 9. I'm gonna have to give Dragon Quest 9 another chance. Which, as a kid, I hated that game. And I know people like, well, you can make the weapons and the armor, and they equip the weapons and the armor, and it actually shows on your character. That was the best part of that game. Everything else about the game kind of sucked. But yeah, like, apparently Dragon Quest X is set in the same world as Dragon Quest 9. So I need to play 9 again. Which I lost a cartridge to that, and I lost a cartridge to this. God damn it. But I'm still going to review it. Fuck you. I have a digital copy. I'm just going to play the digital copy. So if anybody's like, I'm going to break in your house to steal that. I don't have it no more. I fucking lost the cartridge. God damn it. But I also have other really expensive games. So I'm going to wrap up this review. Would I recommend this game? Yes, the visuals are very pretty. But the game, like, to me, like, the game almost didn't feel like a Dragon Quest game, dude. It felt like a game LARPing, like, playing, like, LARPing as a Dragon Quest game. Kind of like a lot of these HD 2D games, like Live a Live and Octopath Traveler. Like, a lot of the reasons why I can't get into games like that is because, like, those games don't feel like real, like, they don't feel like, they don't have that, like, they feel like games pretend, like, it's like imposter syndrome, where they feel like you're playing like a rip-off of a game, and then you're not playing like the real version of a game, dude. Which, those, I know that those and this are basically remakes of like older games, but yeah, they still feel like they still have the classic, they're still 2D, right? They still have the sprites, they still look like classic games, dude. Here, it's like, oh, you have this, like, this bastard child of, like, demon half-breed Inuyasha. Like, where it's like, I'm kind of 3D, I'm kind of 2D. The sprites do not match the, like, you know, the 2D, the sprites look out of place in this mostly 3D game, dude. It's like, go 3D, it's like this half in and out, like, half and half, like, it's like, or I'm kind of 2D and kind of 3D. Go either one way or another, not this half and half bullshit, dude. So yeah, that's why I'm recommending, because like the remake, they're re-releasing 1 and 2, so you're gonna pay another $80 to play Dragon Quest 1 and 2, when for the same price you can, as one of this and the new one that's coming out next year or whatever, you can get this and get all 3 games, dude. Come on. 7 out of 10. Buy it to support Square Dragon Quest, so maybe if we can get Final Fantasy X, but if not, fuck you, don't get this instead. Bye.